This is my multiple-part guide on how you're going to lose fat and build muscle this summer. Okay, so the first thing you need to do is make sure that you have an achievable goal. What this is going to do is make sure that it keeps you on track and it doesn't actually give you unrealistic expectations on what can be achieved and what cannot be achieved. Okay, so just because you've seen some guy online that was able to lose 10 kilograms in a month, it doesn't mean that you will be able to do so as well. So if you set unrealistic expectations, you are setting yourself up for failure. Okay, the only way to lose fat is to simply decrease the amount of calories that you are consuming throughout the day, whether that's by eating less calories or simply doing more cardio. Now, if we're eating in a 500 calorie deficit, those calories, they have to come from somewhere. So if they're not coming from the foods that we're eating, then they're going to have to come from the stored fat on your body, right? So on a call, we need to prioritize protein intake and carbohydrates. Protein intake because we are trying to minimize the amount of muscle that we're losing, and carbohydrates because this is going to be the main source of energy for your body. So this is how you're actually going to fuel your workouts. We need to make sure that you can push harder on your workouts. So by having more carbohydrates in your diet, then we're actually maximizing the amount of muscle gain and the amount of fat that we can lose. It's absolutely vital to your code that you can actually find out how many calories in a deficit you need to eat, right? So the only way to actually find this is to simply go online and search up one of those calorie calculators. I'm actually going to put up some picture up here. You just put in all of your details and it will tell you specifically how many calories you need to eat according to your lifestyle and to your needs, right? Now, if we are estimating wrong, then we will lose muscle. So this is why it's really important that you actually find out how many calories you're eating. Of course, if you're having any trouble with anything that I just said, you can inquire about my online coaching, where I will keep you accountable and provide you with the best information out there at an affordable price. As I mentioned earlier in the video, in order to lose fat, you need to go in a calorie deficit. And I mentioned eating less calories. Eating less calories is easier when you keep highly palatable foods out of your home, such as ice cream or any sort of junk food, and eating more whole foods, such as fish, meats, or dairy products. This is going to make it way easier in order for you to stick to your diet and actually be in a calorie deficit for longer periods of time. Okay? And on the way is to eat more fiber. Fiber is going to give you that sensation of being full, so you will actually be able to sustain that deficit for longer periods of time. Now, if you're not keen on changing your diet, you can do zone 2 cardio for longer periods of time every single day. You can do 1.5 hours of cardio and still be able to keep the same diet that you're eating right now and still lose fat. You should aim to lose between 0.3 and 0.7 kilograms of fat every single week. Of course, this will depend on your starting point, but this should be a rough idea on how fast you should be losing fat. You definitely want to drop me a follow so you can see the next video that's coming out. I'm going to be talking about which muscle groups you need to focus on in order to actually have that aesthetic build for the beach.